Hello, it's me, Ghost Critic, and I'm back again for another week of comic book reviews. And as you loyal YouTube viewers who pop in every week can see, I'm still in my bedroom, which means the lighting in the room still hasn't been fixed. And it's blooming cold in here, hence the hat and the scarf, and it's a good job I only have 2 comics to review this week because I want to get out of here as quickly as possible. So let's get on with it. Daredevil, issue number 6. Another great issue by Mark Waid. I am loving this new take on Daredevil, and when I say new take, I say this every week. It's nice and fresh. I want to say upbeat, but I don't really mean as in, hey, let's all have a party, but it has a lighter feel to it. But don't let that put you off in the sense that nothing happens in this title, because there is a hell of a lot still going on. Especially in this, you know, he's just made 5 very powerful, very dangerous enemies at the end of this title. But unlike the last run of Daredevil, Matt Murdock is calling the shots this time. He is not going from one catastrophe to another and being led and having to be reactive rather than proactive. He is calling the shots in this run of Daredevil. Mark Waid is doing an absolutely top-notch job on the story. Marcus Martin, I think it was Scott Custom Brown Star who commented on last time I reviewed this. It has got a kind of Silver Age type feel, and that is, I think, predominantly due to Martin's artwork. For me in this issue, the artwork at times, especially in the fight scene, kind of turned a little bit more to the cartoony and almost slapstick element to it, rather than the straight kind of, like I said, the Silver Age-ness of the art, which, you know, no bad thing to Marcus Martin. He fits in with this title and the places that Mark Waid's taken it very, very well. 100% recommend you pick this up if you haven't already. I'm sure there'll be a trade coming out with the first 6 issues very, very soon. Pick it up. And the only other title that I managed to pick up this week was Fables, and it was issue 111. We've currently got 2 concurrent storylines going on. As you can see from the cover, if I make that a bit closer, hopefully you can see that. We've got Buffkin's neck in a noose. Yes, we saw last issue that Buffkin got caught by the people of Oz, and Oz has seen better days, let's put it that way, and is very much under a dictatorship type leader. And what we have for Buffkin having to deal with is he's in prison, he has a lawyer, but the lawyer isn't trying really to get him off. He's already been pretty much tried and found guilty of conspiring against the people of Oz, and the lawyer is basically there just to make sure his punishment, or, you know, his method of, I was going to say torture, but no, of execution, that's the word I'm thinking of. The method of execution is as painless as quick as possible, rather than prolonged, painful and torturous. So there's a few laughs there. I haven't been 100% on board with that side of the story. The other side concurrently going on with it is, of course, finding the new North Wind. And we find the new North Wind, I think. And obviously, given this is a Fables title, it comes from a very unlikely place. I'm not sure whether this is going to be the end of it, as obviously the other 3 winds are making plans in the background. Things aren't going as they planned. But that's a story I'm really enjoying. We get two characters come back into the Fables fold that were thought of as lost. But it is, as usual, it's Bill Willingham and Buckingham just having a great time, still making Fables one of my top choice reads on the Vertigo line. Thoroughly enjoyed it as usual. And you know what, guys, that's basically it for my comic book reviews. It was a very, very poor week. I don't know what you guys picked up. Fortunately, given it was such a lax week, I was able to pick up a little present for myself, but I'll fit that in with the next bit. For those of you who know, once a month I do the viewer's choice, where you out there recommend something to me to read, preferably of the trade paperback-ish, you know, something I can get off Amazon type of deal. And looking down the list from last month's, when I read The Umbrella Academy by Gerard Way, which was very good. Go check out the video if you haven't already. I had some really great picks to choose from. We had Esmeron RPG 2193 suggest Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. I'd never heard of it before, and I looked it up on Amazon and I thought, wow, this sounds right up my street and looks like I'm going to have an absolute riot with this. Unfortunately, Amazon were going to take 2 to 3 weeks to send it to me, so maybe next time. MAW0001 suggested a title called Echoes by Joshua Hales. Again, I looked it up on Amazon and it looked like it'd be something I'd be interested in reading, but unfortunately it was only in hardcover and it was a little bit pricey at the time, so I may wait for that for paperback. Please do keep recommending that to me and anything else you can think of. But I finally decided, Edward 2962, you recommended 60s X-Men or the 90s Doom Patrol. So I plumped for the 60s X-Men, which kind of gave me a huge scope to pick from, and I decided in the end, Marvel Masterworks, they're doing a paperback, and it's X-Men Volume 1. So I'm waiting for that to come from Amazon, and that should be delivered at the weekend. And it basically collects the very first 10 issues of X-Men. So I don't believe I have ever read the first 10 issues of X-Men. Not even kind of like on the internet or anything like that, so I'm really, really looking forward to that. And you know, it's written by some, I don't know, young upstarts, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, never heard of him myself, but you know, could be good. And anyway, the other thing I bought as a little treat for myself, because it was so cheap, and I might do a review when I do the viewer's choice as well, was I picked up this. Oh, you're not going to... Can you see that? Ah, there we go. That's almost it. I think you can see that. I hope you can. Basically, it's The Amazing Screw-On Head and Other Curious Objects by Mike Mignola. Him of Hellboy fame, and it was £7, so I couldn't say no, especially hardback as well, and it just looks a treat inside, and I'm looking forward to reading that. And with that, I think that's it. As usual, if you're new to this channel and you've enjoyed this video, there's a subscribe button up there. Down below there's a nice thumbs up button. I love it when you click on that. And there's a comment box to tell me what you thought of the comics I reviewed. What did you read? What did you think was great this week? What did I miss out on? What did I forget? And I'm on Twitter as well, if you want to follow me on Twitter. A lot of you guys are getting into it now. I've noticed and started following me, and I've followed you back. So that's me. I'm going to go and get warm in the other room now. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.